Everyone is guilty of something, but in Karin Slaughter's world, that guilt could get you or someone else killed. Welcome to Boozy B's Books and Cocktails. I'm Dana B, and I am thrilled today to be reviewing one of my favorite authors' newest books. And I am so excited. And so I'm going to review the book and then we're going to match a cocktail to it. And I'm excited about this cocktail because it is a classic cocktail. It's called Corpse Reviver. And if you are a fan like I am of Karin Slaughter's, you know there's going to be lots of dead bodies, and some of them we would like to revive, and some we're okay with them being dead. So I am just beyond thrilled with this book. I love, love Karin Slaughter. And I feel like that she has gone back to her roots of character development. And not that her other books have been bad, but I kind of got tired of them for a little bit. And if you've read her before, you kind of know what I mean. Her character development is so on point. And this book to me was just classic Karin Slaughter. So the book is called We Are All Guilty, and it is about there's several characters, and that's what I like about Karin Slaughter. She introduces a lot of characters, and you do have to keep up with them, but she makes you fall in love with them, or she makes you just hate them. So her character development to me is very so good. And if you're a Karin Slaughter fan, you know that um, she deals in lots of heavy abuse, and it's sometimes very hard to read. But I was able to go and listen to her speak last year in Little Rock, and she talked about why she was so descriptive in her abuse of human bodies, and it was because she felt like that the world needs to know what another human being can do to another human being's body, and so she's not shy about that. She's not just she doesn't just glaze over it. She had abuse in her family that no one knew about it. The Her grandmother was abused, and so no one talked about it in her family, and so she refuses to do that in her writing. And I appreciate that with her writing. Sometimes it does get a little bit too much, but then I keep going back to what she says. So this book is about Emmy, and she is a police officer. Again, it's classic Karin Slaughter, and she loves police and FBI and GBI, and everything is based in Georgia. And you get introduced to Emmy and her best friend, and Emmy is a cop that's having problems in her relationship. Her father is the sheriff of the town, North Falls, and it opens up on 4th of July, and it's a big ordeal in the town. Everybody's down by the lake, and there's lots of fireworks and everything. And so there's a little girl named Madison, and that's her best friend's stepdaughter. And Madison and her best friend Cheyenne are typical teenage girls, and what we think are typical teenage girls. And Emmy has promised her best friend that she would watch Madison because they were kind of had been getting into trouble at school. So Emmy talks to Madison, and she kind of feels like there's something going on, but Madison won't talk to her. But Emmy's personal life is a mess, and so some of the things that happen in her life, and she just has to get away, and so she misses a conversation with Madison, and that leads to some very destructive things. So it is a murder mystery, a crime thriller, and but what it also is, it's Emmy's life, and it's a um, time book. So you go back and forth for 12 years. And so there's a murder of these two young ladies, and Emmy feels guilty that she was not present to help these young ladies. And so then 12 years later, there's another girl that um, is kidnapped, and the evidence points to the same person that they never caught for the murders of the first two girls. And so it just bounces back and forth. It's easy to follow. It's a little slow at times, but she's so descriptive and everything. And she, not only is she descriptive in these abusive, horrible crime scenes, but she's also funny. She says some of the funniest things. So she's introduced a couple of new characters. Well, they're all new characters because it's a new series book. But she brings in these characters in Emmy's life, and one of them is Jude Archer, and she is a retired FBI agent, and her degree is in kidnapping of young children and sex trafficking. And so she ends up at North Falls, and it tells you very slowly how, this comes about. And she leaves nothing out, and it is so great. But Jude just so happened she was from North Falls years and years back. And so she has these, like when you are raised in your hometown and you're very familiar with everything, and then you leave and you come back and everything's different. So Jude had been gone for about 40 something years. And so Emmy and Jude are having this conversation, and it's Jude, or Emmy says something to Jude. Well, this store is here, and Jude says, "Oh, that's the cobbler's." And Emmy says, "Yes, right next door to the baker and the candlestick maker." And it's just classic Karin Slaughter book writing. She just slides funny things in. She's got a wicked sense of humor, which I really, really enjoy. And that's part of my fangirl with Karin Slaughter. I just really appreciate her writing style. So here's some of my likes and dislikes. So my likes is how she doesn't hold back. She just rips through it, and she lets everybody know how she feels. The development of her characters are awesome. I can't wait for the next book, and I always know that it's going to be out in August. And I'm looking forward to it. And I love the way that she has researched the project so much. I feel like that she brings a lot of her research into the book. So if she's talking about the police and police procedures to the medical part of it, she always brings in some doctors in her characters. And so you really feel like you're getting the whole picture. It's not just, this person died and they got hit in the head with a board. She goes into very descriptive detail, so it makes you feel like you're right there with her or the characters. And just her funny lines that she puts in there. And if you're a fangirl like I am, you know that she loves cats and she loves dogs, and so she puts those little things in there that I absolutely love. She has a formula to me that she follows, and so I really appreciate that formula. I always feel like I know who's going to be the murderer, and she always shocks me. So I like that about it. What I don't, what my dislikes are, is, and this is just on a personal level for me, I did not like that I had the person picked out that I knew and I was waiting for, and it wasn't that person. And I was kind of disappointed because I wanted to know more about his story, but I do know, being a fangirl of hers, that this person's going to get their own story and something is going to um, come of it. I just know it in my bones. Know it, know it, know it. And the other thing was, a couple of times there was a little slow, and maybe I didn't follow the line, and it jumped around a little bit. And there was, and I don't want to give it away because that will tell you who the murderer or the you know end of the story is. Um, I thought that there was too many and it does say we are all guilty here, so I guess that's the point of it. But there was to me, a lot of open-ended character plots. So, and that's I know going to be part of the series. So, for the most part, gosh, I would give this a 4.7 out of a 5. And so, if it was going to be a 5, it'd be a Manhattan if you've been around before. So I couldn't give it a 5. I wanted to make sure that I was doing it justice, and so I'm very, very happy with it. I'm such a big fan. I know I keep going on about it, but I really, truly am a big fan of hers. So, okay, so for this book, I chose the Corpse Reviver. It is a classic cocktail, and I thought it would go really well with this book because there's lots of corpse in the book, and some we want to revive, and some they can just stay unalive. That's the new word I learned, unalive. Anyway, so the Corpse Reviver has gin, Lillet Blanc, sweet vermouth, Grand Marnier, some lemon juice, and then it says to just splash the glass with this absinthe. So I've never had this before, so this will be a treat for everybody. It's either going to suck or it's going to be really, really good. So we're going to mix it in the mixing glass. It's 3/4 ounces of everything, so it's very, very easy to pour. And we're going to just start adding it in here, and we'll see what we come up with. I am not a professional bartender in any way, but I sure do enjoy cocktails. I love to learn about cocktails. Do you like cocktails? Because I sure do. And I always like a fancy glass to pour it in, just because I like to be a little fancy every once in a while. This is sweet vermouth. And I like to buy bottles in, like in a smaller quantity if it's something special like vermouth. I really appreciate that the liquor stores are making stuff in smaller quantities for us people that want to try all this new stuff. It's going to make a lot. This is going to be a big drink. Some fresh lemon juice. Make sure we put a lid on everything. Scoot this out of the way. Going to give it a stir. Make sure everything's incorporated and then chilled. Has anyone ever went to see Karin Slaughter? I got to see her in Little Rock, like I said, and I just absolutely love her. So we're going to put some of this. It's got a really licorice, very licorice smell to it. So we're just going to put a little bit in there. And then I'm going to roll it around in this glass. This stuff was outlawed a long time ago. So I'm not sure that they still make the same recipe, but you can look it up. So I've got my fancy glass here, my Waterford glass, and to me that makes everything better. Okay, and if we can put some ice in it just to make it look a little bit better. So here you go. All right, Karin Slaughter, I want to hear from you. Cheers. Oh, well, that is interesting. Wow, this is good. I am, whoo, yum. Cheers. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Mm. Thank you so much for joining me I hope that you will give this book a chance. It's a wonderful book. Love it. If you love lies, betrayal, family drama, friendship, murder, mystery, crime solving, this is the book for you. If you've never read any Karin Slaughter and you're interested in Karin Slaughter, this is a great book to get started with. The other ones are Grant County and Will Trent. The Will Trent that's on ABC is based loosely off of her books. And so I appreciate you watching. Just FYI, I was nominated for 4 awards in Arkansas podcast awards. So if you get a chance, go vote for me. I would love to win some awards. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Please share, like, and subscribe. Thank you so, so much. And cheers to Karin Slaughter and her crime mystery books. Cheers.
Cheers.